Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Blue Ice Talks. I'm Blue, and I like to talk about figure skating. I'm sorry that I didn't upload a video last week, but I was very busy in my personal life, and so just needed some extra time. Also, the Grand Prix series took quite a lot out of me. Today's video is going to be slightly different, where I look into a warhorse, so a piece of music used a lot in figure skating, and dissect why it's good for skating. This week's warhorse is going to be Swan Lake. Swan Lake, very briefly, is a ballet with the music composed by Tchaikovsky, and it's about a Princess Odette who has been transformed into the White Swan, the Prince Siegfried who falls in love with her, Rothbart the evil sorcerer who enchants his daughter Odile to become the Black Swan in order to trick the prince into loving her instead of Odette. The ending was originally tragic, but it has now been altered in more modern productions to be happier instead. It's also a ballet of 4 acts. Swan Lake is such an iconic ballet. It is one of Tchaikovsky's most well-known, despite initially being a failure, and has also inspired multiple film adaptations, including my personal favourite, the Barbie of Swan Lake interpretation, and also Black Swan starring Natalie Portman. Since practically the birth of figure skating, Swan Lake has been used. From teams like Victoria Sinitsina and Nikita Katsalapov, all the way to Mao Asada and Junwan Cha, Yuzuru Hanyu, Daisuke Takahashi, Carolina Kostner, so many skaters have performed to Swan Lake. I've only included a selection on here because there are just so many Swan Lake performances. Additionally, skaters have also performed to Black Swan, which I am classing in the same category since Black Swan is a film inspired by Swan Lake, and so that also includes skaters like Alina Zagitova, Amber Glenn, Yelim Kim, Diana Davis and Gleb Smolkin, just to name a few. It is undeniable that in figure skating, Swan Lake is incredibly popular. The question then is, why do skaters like it so much? I'm going to play you the Swan Theme from Swan Lake. It's about 3 minutes of music, but I think it will really highlight the points that I want to make. That section of music is absolutely perfect length for a short programme, and within it has some incredible rises and falls, a huge range of emotions within about 2 minutes and 50 seconds, which is exactly what coaches, choreographers, and skaters themselves are looking for. Skaters using just the Swan theme would have so many opportunities to show the judges just how well they can emote, how well they can match the music with their elements, how they can rise and fall with the music and match it. Another reason why Swan Lake is very well liked is because there are different characters that skaters can play. So originally, the parts of Odette and Odile were performed by the same ballerina, so a single skater could portray both the black swan and the white swan. For pairs and ice dance skaters, there is obviously the white swan, the prince, and they have a romance. There's the white swan and the black swan, and they have a rivalry. There's the white swan and Rothbart, and they have a rivalry. There's lots of character interaction already written into the story, into the music. Swan Lake also comes with a lot of costume inspiration. You can go down the balletic route, you can go down a black and white route. It's fairly easy for costume designers in that they have somewhere to start from. There are also multiple iterations of Swan Lake. I mentioned a few of the films beforehand, but you can take it in a slightly different direction and still portray some of your personality as a skater when you are performing to a very well-known piece of music. Of course, speaking of the pieces of music, Swan Lake is a 4-act ballet, and there are an awful lot of different themes, motifs, and pieces of music within the ballet itself, so you have a huge range of music to choose from, and it's up to coaches and choreographers and the skaters, of course, which sections they're going to pick themselves. Probably the most important reason why skaters frequently choose Swan Lake, though, is because the judges very much like it. Skating has always been fairly Eurocentric, and Swan Lake is a ballet from a European composer, so it only makes sense that judges would view Swan Lake very favourably, and that's why you often see a rise in war horses like Swan Lake during the Winter Olympic season. For me personally, I absolutely love the music of Swan Lake, so I really enjoy seeing every different interpretation of it, and whenever it comes on, I'm always happy to watch the skater. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed this topic. If there's a warhorse that you'd like me to cover, or another video topic, please do let me know in the comments or on social media. You can find my card with my links in the description. Don't forget to let me know your favourite Swan Lake performance in skating, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!